I figured this all out on my own, but it took me hours. Like it took me hours, it took me months, and I want to like do it so that people don't have to struggle the way I did. What we want to do is we don't want this to be associated with a class. We want to be able to use a method that allows us to go through a list of profile apps and display. And this is stats.getPackageName, and we can store this in here. And this will do a for loop every time to match that. Hello. Hope you guys are doing well. We are determined to finish this server conversation thing that we're having. I want to make an article on it so bad, just like Flutter communication between separate threads. I haven't seen any information on it. There has to be other developers that code in Dart and Flutter that also are trying to find the answers. And it's just like kind of sad that there's just like a lack of information, and I figured this all out on my own, but it took me hours. Like it took me hours, it took me months, and I want to like do it so that people don't have to struggle the way I did. Okay, so while the emulator is running, I think we were working on obviously this getting the foregrounded app. Okay, yeah, we were working on time. I probably made a hash set because I want to match it with the list we currently have. I don't get why I can't print this out. List of objects can be assigned to the parameter. How did I do this before? We're getting really close to being done with the Android side, and then I don't know what to do for iOS. Like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need an HDMI cable. Yeah, I could probably do it with an HDMI cable. I need to figure it out. Something like this. Yeah, I just need to display it. So I just need a display and then an HDMI to USB. And that way I can plug it into my computer. I'm going to be using a Mac soon because I have to code in iOS. File icon byte stream. It says daily usage time is 0. So daily usage time isn't working, obviously, which isn't what we want to hear. Let's figure out why this is happening. Need to check that the time check goes back to 12 a.m. midnight. I think this is in days. Let's not have to do this whole like debugging thing. It's kind of looking a little crazy looking. Let's add some helper methods here. What don't we need? Clear tabs, clear mind. Profile app, definitely. This is in the class profile app. What we want to do is we don't want this to be associated with a class, but we want to be able to use a method. We want to be able to use a method that allows us to go through a list of profile apps and display. I wonder if there's namespaces in Flutter. Then for now, we'll just have it be a helper method outside. It's gonna be a list of strings, right? Tied to another string, I guess, because the daily usage time is also a string. But we can just say daily usage time of app list, something like that. And this is a list profile app list. And hash map from entries. Let's see what this looks like. Hash map to entries. Numbers.map. We can't really do a map. How about iterables? I don't think we could do this because there's multiple parts of the profile. We're definitely going to have to custom make this. Hash map undefined. How do I do this? Like this. It's map.package name is equal to app.daily usage time. And then we just return it. I wonder if there's a way to make this one line. Hash map can't be assigned to string. According to this, all of these are at 0, which means that it's not working. No. Okay, so we have to figure this out, why it's not working. Oh, it's because the string is just package name. Okay, it's a list of usage stats, so we just need to go into here and we need to see what the property looks like. Maybe it was causing a crash and that's why I did that. This is why you always write comments. Okay, get package name. First, let's do this because this won't break anything. So it's stats get package name. I think we have to restart this because this is a like a native emulator change or a native language change. We can't run it from there. I have to run it from the Flutter app. So if the package name is different, it's not going to match. This creates a string. Okay, surely this is doing something. So let's make it an index and let's just fill the package names. and that way it'll start filling up at least the first indices, and we can kind of see what the string looks like in the hash map. We're gonna open up Android Studio, and we'll code in Android Studio because the lack of Kotlin support right now is not fun. God, I hate this IDE too. It just has ugly colors. No offense to anyone that likes the Android Studio IDE, but I personally don't like being here. Kind of worried because this isn't updating, but it might just be a file difference. All right, let's see if that worked. Okay, yeah, I was looking at the wrong area. This was supposed to be toString, and this is supposed to be toString. We try again, and then this should give us something. So the package names are not good, like at all. I'm trying to change the names of the packages to try and match the formats from it looking like com.android.package name to just the package name. We would have to load this in, right? We should do another one, huh? Another helper method. Let's call it location package name. And let's say that this is a string, and we return another string. We look at the package list. We would have to make another map, right? We would have to make a conversion map. This is a lot of data storing. I wish there was an easier way to do this, but there's no way to look up a specific package, right? We can always do an O of n. We can do an O of n. So we have this, right? And then package list, you go through the indices, kind of like how we do it here. Hopefully the AI knows what I'm trying to say. Oh, it's for each. I don't really like for each. I guess we'll just keep it the same. It's honestly an extra line, it's whatever. So pretty much we get this package name, and now what we need to do is we need application package name here. So if package info name is equal to application package name, then return app label, and if we don't, we can return an empty string. So now this is just a number, and this is stats.getPackageName, and we can store this in here, and this will do a for loop every time to match that. Let's just see if it works, and then we can try optimizing. Okay, I think this worked because now we're getting some blinks, but we also get some of the actual labels. Now let's try to, so we'll say package name is equal to package name. So we check if the package name is there, and if it's there, we share it. Okay, so what we're expecting here is that we'll get something similar to like camera, YouTube, and that'll pretty much tell us that we have a one-to-one matching. And then we can do our final conversion to get the usage time per app. If it works. If it doesn't work, I'll be really sad. We're getting a bunch of zeros. Wait, let me make sure that this, I don't know if I rebuilt actually. I think I rebuilt, but oh, it's returning an empty string because it's not finding it. Example, Make App doesn't get any, News Gaming doesn't get any, Photos gets one, Focus Up gets one, Gmail, Calendar, Drive doesn't. Drive has 0. Hello World has hello, phone, clock, files, 0, Google, YouTube Music. Okay, so some of them work and some of them aren't getting a one-to-one matching. It's probably because these apps probably don't have an app label. It probably doesn't have an app label. See, if it was consistent, like if all of these were zeros or something. Okay, some of them are zeros, meaning that it didn't even find an entry. Oh, these are categories that I made. That's why there's nothing in it. Sim toolkit. Okay, but why is camera 0? Contacts is 0. Files is 0. Why are they 0? They're not being found. See, this is what I find confusing. What I don't understand is how can we find through this? We go through the exact same thing. We go through the same app info. We go through the same package name. Okay, it just means that we're finding the app, but it doesn't have a usage count, right? Because if it doesn't have a usage count, it means that it's not going to be found. For example, if we go to our home, we go back into our app, and we refresh this, the camera should be found as we have a usage date for it now. Yeah, see? So camera has something. No, because the usage state is there. Hello world has them because they're being found, but we return it anyway. So total time in foreground, and then what this will do is it'll load it, and if not, it'll say 0, which pretty much means that we don't have any time ran on it, right? And then we're gonna reload the native code, and this should work a little bit better. The matching logic should work now, because now we're finding a package name that's similar to the loaded label. We could have also just looked at the hash map. Actually, it might be easier to do it this way. It might be easier to just load in the package info package name, because that way we don't have to do this conversion. We can just store the package name. It'll be a lot more optimal. The first thing that I want to do, we're going to reconvert this back because it makes our code so much simpler. It might be better just to do this, and we can just use a getter like that. So we could just do package info name. This will get the hash map. It'll be O of 1. And if we do it this way, then we can either find it or we don't find it. And if we don't find it, we get 0. So I made this a little bit more complicated by trying to convert it when we already had a solution. But that's what we get when we're working with native code all the time, and we don't necessarily remember why we added things in the first place, like why I had it as a hash map to begin with. But the reason why was so that I don't have to worry about O of n logic. Yep, and there you go. We have time. We have 0 for the ones that we didn't open. We have to look at all of our print statements, right? Print native task. Print package name. Is this the thing that's printing out? If the app is not blocked, add the app to the app list. How would we even know if it's blocked though? How does this even make sense? Oh, I see. On a second run where we're formatting the profile app, we don't want anything to show that is currently blocked. So if the app isn't blocked or is not contained in the blocked app list, then it should be added to the list. Because that way, on a second run where there's things that may be already blocked, it should be here. Yeah, that makes sense.